Hello, YouTubers. Joe Cruzy here on September 7th, 2014, about a little after 4 in the afternoon, Eastern Daylight Time. Now, today was Sunday, and so I went to church. Now, it turns out today I got to read, and unlike recently, for the last several times, I was the second reader, which meant that I led the psalm in a method of my choice, and then read the New Testament selection, which was the armor of light passage from Romans 13. The last 2 or 3 verses of which I'll read you from the authorized version. The night is far spent. The day is at hand. Let us therefore cast off the works of darkness, and let us put on the armor of light. Let us walk honestly as in the day, not in rioting and drunkenness, not in chambering and wantonness, not in strife and envying, but put ye on the Lord Jesus Christ, and make not provision for the flesh to fulfill the lusts thereof. Well, you got to love the armor of light, the casting off of darkness and putting on the armor of light. Now, what was interesting was I was emailing back and forth to a fellow in England that, oh my, look at this big deer here. Check out that big bad boy. He's in the shadow right now. Hello, sweet soul. I think he's a new one. I don't know if that's a male or that's a bigger one. He may be a young male without growing his horns yet or something. Well, he's up there on the other far side of the dog yard. So, meanwhile, I'll go back to my story about emailing this fellow in England. And he's also done some lay preaching and reading and so forth. And he said, well, he likes the armor of light part, but the list of sort of transgressions there at the end, well, you know, many of us have engaged in some of these. Some of us have engaged in all of them. It's okay, sweet soul. Let's take them one at a time, shall we? Well, we're in pairs, since he lists them in pairs. One of these great Pauline lists. Rioting and drunkenness. Well, I don't know if I've been ever engaged in rioting. Oh no, I've not. Drunkenness, well, drunkenness has many gradations, doesn't it? You know, having a few, is that drunkenness? I would say no. Some people might. You know, getting to the point where you fall down and stumble and black out, but yet while you're blacked out, you engage in horrible sort of assaultive behavior to other people. Yeah, that's drunkenness. Has that happened? Well, that's happened maybe a couple of times. Yeah, probably just a couple of times. That includes the assaulting people. The non-assaultive stuff, maybe another 3 or 4 times. Okay, guilty. Chambering and wantonness. Well, chambering, I've done a certain amount of chambering. I don't do much anymore. Which isn't to say I wouldn't mind doing some of that, but wantonness. I think the other term for that is licentiousness in the NRSV. But I can't say I've been particularly licentious. No, I can't say I've been wanton. I do like a good chambering from time to time, though. Well, who doesn't? Particularly, well, you know, we're assuming this is all consensual. Not in strife and envying. Well, yeah, there's been a certain amount of strife. I can't say there's been much envying, though, if any, really. I really can't say I've envied people or coveted stuff. No, that's not been one of my. Well, I've got some other little sins that, well, not little, but you know, but envying isn't one of them. There's not been much strife lately either. So, still, in times past, there's been some strife. And make not provision for the flesh to fulfill the lusts thereof. Well, I don't know, provision for the flesh to fulfill the lusts thereof. Well, the NRSV takes a bit more expansive view, basically talking about gratifying things that you want. Well, yeah, I've done some of that. Probably might do some more of that from time to time, but it's certainly not directed as a sin against God, and it's certainly not intended. It's certainly not intended as a. It's certainly not intended as a. An act of non-love toward my neighbor. Is that a bit of a weasel? You know, call in your favorite ethics consultant, you know, or moral consultant, more active. Well, anyway, those were some thoughts provoked on today's activities in church. Meanwhile, I got back, and this fellow in England that I've been emailing back and forth with, he started to do his own series of autobiographies, and I encourage you to look at his stuff. His name is Tony Pincham. Pincham, Tony. He's on YouTube. He's well worth a look in and a listen. And the English have a lot to teach us about proper attitudes toward work for folks that don't jump through all the hoops and pass all the academic tests. You know, they still, you know, there's still a place for them in their society. We have a lot to learn from them about that. We really do. Well, that's about it today. Paul's not home yet. He said today was going to be a long day, and he's off the next 2 days. So maybe we'll have some more hotel stories or something. So, okay, bye-bye YouTube. The deer's gone now. He was alone.